And it was hard to date when you don't drink that much, you know what I mean? Like, I try to come up with non-drinking dating activities, but it all sounded like I was trying to babysit the person. You want to get some ice cream? How about a bike ride? Too cold, hot cocoa? So I remember this was probably one of my favorite dates, so I met this woman and we were going to a wine bar restaurant, okay? I told you what I can handle, so my plan was just to nurse one glass of wine. And then she showed up with red wine mouth. Yeah, I don't know how many that is, but it felt like we were starting at 30 love. In the first 10 minutes, she told me that I look like her ex-boyfriend. Not first date conversation. Then she started telling me why I was wrong for drinking white wine instead of red wine, and I was like, well, if you have a mirror, I'll show you why I'm right. Then she started complaining about dating in New York City, and I'm like, you're on a date in New York City. This is weird to do that. Plus, I've known you for 18 minutes, pretty confident, not New York City's fault. But this was the best, all right? At one point during our date, she got up from our table to tell someone at another table to be quiet. And look, I was half impressed, if I'm being honest with you people, okay? That takes balls. Big balls. Balls I don't have. Think about it. She was being annoying at my table, and I didn't say anything. They thought she worked there. And then she sat back down with me. I was like, just as surprised as you guys. I have no idea what's going to happen next. Let's all watch. Right? Because there's an acceptable way to tell someone in public that they're doing something weird, right? You look at them, you hope you catch their eye, and you're like, wait, huh? Come on. What? What? Huh? What? What? Seriously, if you followed me around New York City, you would think I had tremors the way I'm just like, come on, what are you doing? No, come on. Not during the day. I call it my Amtrak quiet car face. I'm like, it's a sign right there. Everybody else is being quiet. What are you doing? You're with me, right? Everybody's with me. Where's the conductor? But But I was still on board, I'm embarrassed to say, because she was cute. That's the problem with the man brain. Somewhere in here, I'm like, maybe she'll even out after 7 glasses of wine. But then she told me she got kicked out of a comedy club one time for heckling, and I was like, I think we're done here. She was like, I was offended, and I felt like I had to say something. I was like, you didn't. And I really, like, people are getting offended at comedy shows and Twitter and stuff, but it's like, comedy is just, it's a joke. Just laugh or don't laugh. If you get offended, maybe that's a great thing to save for your journal later. But this is what really got me. She goes, I was offended, and I felt like I had to say something for everyone. I felt it coming up from here. I was like, you don't know everyone was offended? Like, I was so mad. I'm definitely madder than you guys, but I was definitely... All right. I don't like onions, okay? If I was at a dinner party... I've never been to a dinner party. But if I was at a dinner party and the meal had onions in it, I would eat around the onions. Simple, right? I wouldn't flip the whole table over and start mashing food out of people's mouths. Maybe I'd lock eyes with someone else that wasn't eating onions, and I'd be like, onions, buddy, right? This is ridiculous. Everybody, solidarity. And my hope would be that enough people wouldn't eat the onions, and then later, when the host was cleaning up, they would see that and be like, oh, I guess not a lot of people like onions. Next time, I won't put so many onions in there. But I wouldn't say anything during the meal, because that would be rude and insensitive, and I know that the host probably worked very hard, put a lot of time and energy into making that meal funny! You guys are too good.